So my session is all about the virtual desktop streaming, the desktop sharing streaming experience with the goggles, Oculus Quest 2. That's my experience number one. The other one is going to be the Pico VR4. That's how it looks like. And the third one is a very special device from Lenovo called ThinkReality A3. And so it's all about working with these three devices in my daily life. And I'm going to share with you how my journey went. So I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about my experiences with these three devices. Yeah. I'm Ragnar Heil. I'm an MVP. Currently here in Prague at a Microsoft conference. Beautiful day. This is the second day here in Prague. I'm living actually in Germany with my family between Frankfurt and Hanover. Working at Rencore, I'm Global Director of Partners and Alliances. I also was part of the Hybrid Work Tour in 2021. That's the bus, which you can see right to the MVP sign, together with Alex Eggers and many others. And I'm also doing the Alex and Ragnar show every 2 weeks about modern workplace news, about Microsoft Teams news. So I'm very strong in evangelizing modern workplace, but also new works, new way of working. And metaverse is definitely one of my favorite topics around new work. I think I started with metaverse in, I think, Second Life. Second Life was my first experience. My very first experience was this little slideshow thing. When I was a young kid, I had this thing with 20 or 30 slides, which I could move around. So I can say now that I'm using metaverse things like 42 years. Okay, just joking. I'm also part of the Viva Explorer group, which is a wonderful family of MVPs sharing Viva news. And today I would like to start with the first Menti. I've got another Menti question soon, but I would like to know from you, where do you live and where do you currently stay? So just share with me your country. Go to www.menti.com and enter 85067343. And by the way, could you please also always share with me questions, because I'm traveling here with my laptop, so I don't have my 3-screen setup. So every kind of question which comes in the chat, I cannot read. So please directly mention it to me. So menti.com 85067343. I'm going to monitor, of course, what's going on and where are you from? So we've got Finland, we've got Germany, Belgium. That's great. So I'm currently in Czech Republic. I'm from Germany. My family is half Spanish because my wife is Spanish. My kids have 2 nationalities, passports. And I assume that we're going to be here in a European time zone. Let's do a refresh. I'm just wondering, I've got 9 responses. So maybe I've got 9 responses, but all 9 live in these 3 countries. Okay. That's maybe the option, the possibility why I only see 3 countries. Okay, super. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining my session. Let's go directly into my experiences. And here, before I share my, let's say 1 year, 2 years of desktop sharing, I would like to start first with you and ask you, what are your experiences with desktops, streaming, desktop sharing on virtual devices, AR goggles, VR goggles? So what's your desktop streaming experiences on a Windows machine, on a Mac? Maybe you also have your Android phone, you've got an iPhone. So any kind of form factor, but streaming your desktop to your VR goggles. What are your experiences and what are your benefits? What are your extra values? That's something what I would like to know from you. So please go back to Menti and this virtual desktop about, why should I use it? Okay, Microsoft Teams is crashing again. Hopefully you can see me now.
Yep, you're coming through fine.
Sorry for this, but I don't have any influence here on the stability of Teams, unfortunately. So great answers. Thanks so much here for answering my my poll. Ease of explanation. Yeah, that is a very good point. Showcasing things. Skeuomorphism. That's a nice word. We have to find out. Usually I'm pretty good in these wordings, but I have to find out what it is. Let me just do it. I have never heard it. Skeuomorphism. Now you definitely made me curious. Okay, so that's a term often used in graphical interface designs to describe interface objects that mimic their real-world counterparts in how they appear and how the user can interact with them. Yeah. Okay, that is very helpful. Hybrid work, yes, sharing is caring, better understanding, no need to travel and customize content. Yeah. Great answers. I think this shows the value and the option. For my desktop streaming, I've also skipped everything around gaming. I'm very honest with you. I'm not really into gaming. I don't play games very often. Sometimes I just download an app, mini golf thing or ping pong or Beat Saber, and then I just play it. But then I don't do it every week and I don't do it regularly. So I'm not really a VR gamer. So gaming was for me not an option to use virtual desktop. My thing was I wanted to find out if it really offers value. And here I figured out after a while that my most important use case is definitely watching videos, because I started to do basic things like putting on my goggles and then trying to go into Excel. So really opening an Excel file here on my desktop, streaming it into my glasses, and then adding a virtual keyboard. But I found out that the value is too less. It's also complicated to put on glasses and then working with virtual keyboards and also adding a Bluetooth wireless keyboard, and then working on Excel sheets or writing Word documents or going into other daily tools. So for me, the productivity aspect was very neglectable. So I think it's extremely useful for consuming videos. And I've got a lot of videos. So I've got hundreds of videos in my subscription. So I spend like half an hour, 45 minutes every day just to go to YouTube and watch my subscriptions. And that's something where I really enjoy using the goggles. And then learning a lot about AI and Microsoft News and MVP News. So I'm consuming a lot of videos with these goggles. But the productivity things where I'm going to create content, like writing or cutting videos, editing videos, that's something where I expected more that I could also use it. But it's currently too complicated. So it's all about consuming things, and then YouTube or webinars would be the best thing. On the other hand, webinars is also difficult because then I cannot communicate well. So then I rather would go into the ordinary setting where I get a nice microphone, a nice webcam. So for me, it's more on the consumption side. But then, nevertheless, on the consumption side, this is a great experience, and I'm going to share you more why I like it so much. So let's go into the configuration, and let's start here with the Oculus Quest. So there are many devices on the market. I started with my Oculus Go. Then my second device is a Meta Oculus Quest 2. That's this device with these controllers. And then I don't own an Oculus Quest Pro. I don't own it, but I've subscribed here for the announcement of the Oculus Quest 3, which is going to be announced in, I think, end of October or November. So maybe I will go for the next Oculus 3. And what you need to do if you also own Oculus is to just go and download the virtual desktop app on your PC, your Mac. This is a free installation, but you need to purchase the Oculus the virtual desktop app in your Quest marketplace. So it's about 20 bucks, 20 euros, $20, 15 pounds. and you just go and start your Oculus Quest, go into your marketplace, and then you just purchase it once. And if you say, oh, listen, I already purchased it on my stream, or I purchased it on my Pico, I'm sorry, you have to purchase it another time. So that's definitely annoying. And then you just download it on your, you also need to download the Oculus app on your PC and Mac, but this is a very important app anyway, if you are into this ecosystem. Am I still in this call? Can you hear me?
Yep, you're still here.
Okay, because this red thing disappeared. I'm now a little bit paranoid to leave you.
Are you in the old or new Teams client, just out of curiosity?
I'm in the new Teams client, yeah.
So some people have suggested maybe switching back to the classic version.
Yeah, I would see if it works. So this crashing only happens with screen sharing. So that happens in a normal thing. It only happens on screen sharing. So let's see if it works. I'm going to ask you every 5 minutes if I'm still here.
Gotcha.
Okay. So 3 installation things: virtual desktop on PC, Mac, download it on your goggles, and then the main app also on the PC. That's it. The experience is extremely simple. I think I also have it. Currently I cannot show it to you because my graphic card of my laptop is not sufficient. So I could walk you through some settings, but currently I use it on my main gaming PC because here my graphic card is not compatible. So I cannot show you this kind of experience. That means that I would rather skip the Oculus one and go back and go to the next one, which is the Pico VR4. Pico VR4, the installation is a little bit different because here you also have 2 different choices. The first choice is called you install the Stream Assistant from Pico VR. The good thing is it is free. It's first party, it's developed by Pico, but sometimes if things are free, there's a but. There's a high latency and the image quality is low. But it offers also USB tethering by default. So you always have the option to have 3 kinds of connections. So here I can, what I usually prefer, I just do it wireless, no cable, and then I just use a wireless connection. But I could also open directly USB tethering, and then it would help me just connected with USB-C to my laptop, and then my laptop is connected to Wi-Fi or to Ethernet. The recommendation is laptop to Ethernet, and then there's obviously less latency. So that's one option called the Stream Assistant, and the second option is the virtual desktop app by the same developer which I just mentioned. It's a third-party app. It's a very popular app. It costs $20. And but if you would go for the USB tethering option, you would need a virtual adapter. There's a very nice YouTube video which explains you where to download the system settings or the Google Drive, and then you just install this APK. So it's not very difficult, but you need to download APKs from Google Drive somewhere, and people sometimes don't like it, which I fully understand. But if you don't care about USB tethering and you just want it wireless, then the virtual desktop is a great experience. Any questions so far for this installation part of these 2 goggles?
Is there anything else that should be showing on screen at the moment? Question from
Pete.
I'm
not. You don't.
You've got the benefits
anything?
of desktop streaming up at the moment.
So that's something what you've seen?
This is new.
Oh, this is new. Okay.
Yeah.
So once again, so this is so for the Oculus Quest 2, these are the 3 things what you have to download. So the price is the same, and then for the Pico VR, the free Stream Assistant, but unfortunately high latency and low image quality, but it's free. The virtual desktop app. Also go to your Pico store and then you purchase it for $20. the biggest value for me, which I wanted to show you with this screenshot, is that with this virtual desktop experience, you can go directly and choose between 10, 15 different rooms. And then I can say, okay, I would like to have a room which looks like a Twitch streamer, or I would like to have a fancy conference ballroom, or I would like to have it should look like a cinema. And this is for me very relaxing, because I can directly sit in my wonderful cinema chair and watch the video or read my emails, go through a PowerPoint presentation, and it feels like being in a cinema. And this is something which I really enjoy, that I can choose between 10, 15 different rooms. And there are also more rooms. I think the last rooms were added like 8 weeks ago, so they're adding more and more rooms. This is a high value. Let's also open, hopefully nothing is crashing soon. Let's also open, am I still here? The assistant. Just give me 1 second. Let's see if the virtual desktop. So this is my virtual desktop streamer. So what I need to do is I just enter my Oculus username, my Pico username, and then I just connect it to my glasses, which are in the same Wi-Fi as my laptop. And then I can here also switch monitors. I can switch the VR toggle modes, and there I've got a lot of very important codecs. So like some people like to use the H.264, others go for the HEVC, which is also now popular with the iPhone 15 gamepad.
Still sharing your PowerPoint, just so you know.
So thank you so much. You really helped me here. This is
so right, no worries.
Yeah. So there's also a brand new option now for audio streaming. So in the past, you can choose a bit between don't stream audio and then headset only, but now you can also do headset and computer. So this is a very new option. You can also do the banana voice meter thing, where you can really pipeline and pipe the different channels from your microphone and others. So this is crazy helpful, voice meter. And then the other things like allow remote connection, what I always recommend, adjust bitrate, start with Windows and so on. So here there are many different ways which helps you. And then the video folder where you are recording and do screenshots, where everything is stored. And here you can check if everything works fine with your current setting in your hardware. So this is a very nice short app which can help for tuning, and that's something which for me offers a lot of value. But it works for both for Pico and for Oculus, but you have to buy it twice. That's unfortunately a negative part. But maybe you just talk to support and convince them. Okay, so let's look into these differences. What are the main differences between the Oculus Quest Go 2 and the Pico VR? There are some things what you have to consider when you think about purchasing one. So number one is Pico 4 has a higher resolution. So this is much better, and you can directly see it when you see it. So I enjoy the higher resolution. It's still not perfect, but for the price tag of the Pico 4, it's a big progress. So coming from very old goggle styles, big progress. The wider field of view is huge. So 105 versus 90 sounds minimum, but Pico definitely has a wider field of view. And then there's also this pancake optics. So I don't know if you can see it now, but this kind of glasses, that's called pancake, which is reducing glare and ghosting. And the Oculus has a different approach. So it's the whole visuals, optics are better in Pico. Pico is also lighter and it feels more comfortable, because here there is a special weight system to take off the weight from here and move the weight a little bit more here. And with the Oculus, everything is just in the front, and the back is very, very light. So I like more the Pico approach with the balancing of the weight. So it's much more ergonomics. Pico has a stepless IPT an interpupillar distance. Quest 2 has a fixed setting for interpupillar distance to move it directly that you get the best visibility. Yeah. So the comfort factor is much better on the Pico side. The performance, Oculus 120 refresh rates, Pico 90. Quest has more mature things like hand tracking, but also Pico rolled out new hand tracking things in the latest updates. But yeah, both can stream, and the streaming quality with virtual desktop is very similar. So I don't see much differences here when comparing both. Regarding content, I would say Oculus has much more content, more games, more apps. Pico is also heading up and getting more and more apps, but it's banned in, for example, in the US. So if you would live in countries which have a problem currently with China, like the US, the Pico experience is definitely limited. So here I would recommend to go for the Oculus Quest 2. So definitely much more content, and also things like the Meta Workplace Horizon from Facebook is there and not available on Pico. Yeah, Pico is cheaper than Quest. So yeah, I bought obviously both goggles and I use both goggles also. So it's not better. I cannot pick a winner here. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, any questions regarding Oculus and Pico before I jump to the next and last one, Lenovo ThinkReality A3? Are there some questions for people who want? And currently, if you haven't bought a goggle at the moment, then please wait for the Oculus Quest 3. I think yesterday I've subscribed to the newsletter. It should be around in 4-6 weeks. The Oculus Quest 3 should be available, but maybe then it's more expensive, and then you can get a cheaper Oculus Quest 2 for, I don't know, $200. So it's also, yeah, look out, but there is currently a lot of movement. So Luke, any questions in the chat regarding the comparison?
Oh, no, we've just had one come in. So question from Alexandre, have you tried other desktop streaming apps?
No, I just tried the default one here from Pico, the streaming assistant, but I haven't tried others. So I was really, yeah. So I heard that the virtual desktop one is the leading one, and then I purchased this one for both devices. Yeah. Do you have any recommendations? So asking him back, which other app should I test, which might be better for virtual desktop streaming? That's something where I would like to learn from you. And now moving to a completely different form factor, the Lenovo ThinkReality A3. So yeah, there's a picture. I can also I also have it here. It's using a Qualcomm XR VR processor for smart viewer optimized dual display, 1080 camera, 8 megapixel, 3 microphones, audio integrated speakers, 6 degrees of freedom. It's supporting PC, not Mac, so you're very limited when you have a MacBook. It's a single piece. You only need to add, and this is now one of the major disadvantages, you only need to add to get it running this kind of USB cable. So you just add the USB cable here, which is also needed for charging, and then add it directly to your PC to get it running. So and you can also use it for prescription lenses, and then you can remove these lenses here, and then you just add the lenses which you get from your optician. So that's very helpful. That's also something which is not possible with the other ones. If you have glasses, then you can add special layers here, but I have never tried it. So, but here it's easier to put really optical lenses which fit to your eyes. So the form factor is definitely great, but let me first start about the installation experience. So there's a tool called Lenovo Virtual Display Manager, VDM. It can manage up to 5 different displays. So in case you have a very nice setup with multiple monitors and not only one, It can manage 5 different displays, and then you can choose if you would like to work with one single one, like here, like my laptop, or I just use multiple displays, like 3, or you have an ultra wide display in just one. So all these things are supported on Lenovo, which is very flexible, and that's something what I appreciate. And then the next step, what you would do, and that happens automatically when you add this glasses to your USB-C cable and to your laptop, immediately this tool comes up, this virtual display manager. You don't need to start anything, and then you just create the space. Do you want to have a very wide space or more narrow space, or you would like to change the brightness from low, from darker to bright, or other way, or you want to scale it, or you want to see a more curved view or a more linear view. So everything is possible here with the Lenovo Virtual Display Manager. So it's a small app, and it starts after connecting the device. It is a very interesting form factor. I really like it. I haven't really started working on a productive way, like writing Word documents, writing emails, writing Excel sheets, writing painting PowerPoints. So my favorite use case was sitting in the garden, having a very comfortable chair, and then just take on the goggles and then just consume and learn. So back to good old YouTube videos, go to webinars. Maybe you also have a meeting which you missed, which is now recorded on stream or in a OneDrive. Just consume it. I think it's crazy comfortable to be in the garden, where you can look into your garden, you see the trees, you see everything, but there's a nice overlay where you can consume the video and the learning content. So that was for me by far the #1 use case for the Lenovo. Other things like doing my mails, doing Excel sheets. I work in sales, so I work also in my CRM. I don't use it so often, but just in the summer, be outside, have a nice glass of wine, and consume learning content, or can also do Netflix, of course. This is something what I really enjoyed. It's a niche use case, and therefore I would like to give you a very precise understanding about the pros and cons. So let's start here with the pros of the Lenovo. They are very light, 130 grams, very comfortable. You can wear it for many hours. If you have lenses and so because you need lenses which are prescribed, you can use it. It's flexible, adjustable, and then it's the only big issue is you need a cable. So they are not working wirelessly. You need a cable. The default cable can be very short, okay, but this is a minor thing because you can buy everywhere longer USB-C cables, but definitely not wireless. It provides 1080p resolution per eye, which is actually clear. It's crystal clear. So not 4K, nothing more, but 1080p, I'm fine with it. So the resolution is fine. Brightness of 200 nits for indoor and outdoor use. Indoor use, I'm happy. Outdoor use, it's usually fine, but if you are in a very sunny environment, very bright, very sunny, 200 nits are not sufficient. So when you looked into the latest announcement from iPhone 15, the amount of nits they are offering now for their smartwatch, it's a different level. Virtual monitors can be positioned and resized. Perfect. I love it. That's a big value. They work seamless with Windows, PC, USB, and Bluetooth. You can also add Bluetooth headsets, because the quality of the microphones and the speakers is not very immersive. So when you would like to watch a Netflix movie or music clip on YouTube, the loudspeakers here are not very immersive. So I recommend here definitely to pair some Bluetooth speakers to get a better experience. Yeah, up to three virtual monitors to extend your workspace. Works with Office, and it's also water resistant in case you leave it on your table and it's raining, and it's great for application things like training and design and showing prototypes, showing POCs, showing MVPs. So here I see a big value. Yeah, and they are definitely more practical and more comfortable than all the other devices on the market, especially around the virtual reality and not only augmented. But there are some disadvantages. It's tethered, they have cable, they are not so portable, they have a limited field of view. So if you, for example, go for the Oculus Meta or the Oculus Quest 2 and others, the field of view is a different level with 105 degrees. It's more immersive, it's brighter, so field of view is definitely not very immersive. Battery life, 2 hours. Well, that's not too much, but usually I don't use VR goggles longer than 1 or 2 hours. So I don't, maybe we have some nerds here who use it for 8 hours, but after 2 hours, I just take off the glasses. Lack of spatial mapping. So the AR capabilities are not state of the art. So if you are deeper into spatial mapping, they're definitely limited. Visuals are blurry. So when you have a PowerPoint slide, you can definitely see that on the left and right, the text is a little bit blurry, also on emails and Excel. That's a disadvantage. Yeah, brightness could be better for auto use. Contrast is lacking, so it's not like an OLED display, what I've read from Apple Vision Pro. So please don't compare it here to what we've seen from Apple Vision Pro. GPU, okay, it's now like two years old. Hand tracking, not supported yet. And yeah, the biggest advantage is definitely that there are no enterprise applications. So you can use and stream your desktop, but there's no app store. Others, Pico and Meta, they have nice app stores. Here, there is no app store. You literally stream your application running on your Windows 11 device. And it's expensive. So I just checked the prices yesterday. 1,300 is the market price. So it doesn't change. It doesn't go down. It's still the same price. Yeah. So sometimes so it's really up to you. Sometimes the consumers don't get the return of investment. Sometimes enterprise customers don't get the return of investment. It's more difficult than the other goggles who are in the 200 or 300 price range, where it's easier to find an ROI. What do you think about this pro and cons? Which pro factors convince you? Which contra factors are stronger than the pro factors? Please let me know. And do you tell me when chat questions are arriving?
No initial questions, but follow up from Alexandre from earlier around other desktop streaming apps. They use Immersed on a daily basis. Multiple screen support is really a plus.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a very good point. Okay, let's wrap up my presentation with topics I haven't covered because time is limited. I've got only 5 minutes left. I haven't covered Apple Vision Pro announcement. That is going to be huge. Not sure if I'm going to purchase Apple Vision 1, Apple Vision Pro. I think it's in 3,600 price range, coming out spring next year. I think I'm not going to buy it, but this is going to take virtual desktop streaming to a next level. So what I've seen from Apple in the videos and the demos, this is definitely a new experience because it is not streaming an iOS desktop to the goggles. It is not streaming an macOS desktop to goggles. It is just a completely new virtual desktop streaming. So here I'm excited. It is amazing what they are offering, and by 3,600. Not sure about the wife acceptance factor in my family when I talk with her. Let's see. Other products which I haven't covered are definitely less expensive. So there are many iPhone streaming glasses on the market, which are currently in the 200, 300, 400 section, like X-Real. So there's currently a nice market of iPhone streaming ones. I don't have an iPhone at the moment, so that's the reason why I didn't purchase them. I could use my iPad, But yeah, so I haven't done. I don't have real life experience, and that's the reason why I didn't go deeper with this iPhone only models. But the form factor for this iPhone ones like X-Real, it's the same kind of form factor with the Lenovo, just limited to iPhone streaming and much cheaper than the Apple Vision Pro. And so that's a nice alternative when you want to stream your iPhone desktop and just have a budget of 300. So that's a nice option. Then, last but not least, what actually happened to the Microsoft and Meta announcement at Ignite 2022? So there's nothing really happening. So when I look into what also Vesa has written in his blog post, I think his last blog posts were like October 2022. Nothing really happened. So there was the Ignite announcement that finally you are able, when it's going to be released, you are able to stream a fully complete Microsoft 365 desktop, which includes Windows 11, a desktop which includes M65. So it's like a M65 virtual PC, but completely embedded into the system of a Oculus Quest. And that's very comprehensive, because then you would have a fully blown Teams application running, which would work. And you would also have endpoint management there. You would have conditional access there. You can provision these devices. You would have, if somebody is leaving the company, you can remove data, you can disable it, and so on. So everything what we know from Endpoint Manager, from Intune, is possible. And also finally, it's going to be enterprise ready with Azure AD. Now renamed to Entra ID. So great announcements from Ignite 2022. I was super excited when I heard the announcement shared by Mark Zuckerberg and Satya Nadella in October 2022. But now we are nearly 1 year later and we haven't heard anything. Nothing, zero. So, okay, there are many news around Mesh for Teams, and we are hearing things in this wonderful conference. But around this topic, we haven't heard anything. But I don't want to leave you with this bad note. I want to leave you with a more optimistic note, because I'm assuming, this is my call to action finally, I'm assuming that the Meta Connect conference, where you can join for free, you can join virtually, starts in 1 week. September 27 to 28, you can join now immediately. Just Google for Meta Connect, and then you can join, and I think they're going to have announcements. Disclaimer, I have no idea what they're going to announce, but I assume that they have announcements. If they should disappoint, please also register now. It's virtual, it's free. If you want to travel to Seattle, you can do it. Then you would have to pay. But Ignite is coming from the 14th to 17th of November. Again, I have no idea what they're going to announce, but I'm betting, not sure what I'm betting, but I'm betting that at the Meta conference or at Ignite, we're going to see announcement regarding this Entra ID integration, Intune, Endpoint Manager, to make finally these beautiful devices ready for the enterprise and to get more attention, because currently it's very niche, and that's something what we want to stop and want to prevent, because I'm very excited about the future of work with VR, and hopefully also you're sharing it, but it needs to be enterprise ready, and we are currently far away. But let's assume we're going to see some fancy announcements. So stay tuned and register for Meta Connect and for Ignite 2023. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks for being here. Sorry again for the disruptions when my Teams was crashing, but I gave my best to come back in time.